Blood doesn't create obligation. Family isn't a free pass to drain your energy, violate your boundaries, or poison your peace. What I'm about to reveal will show you how Sigma males handle the most difficult relationship challenge of all. Toxic family members who think DNA gives them unlimited access to your life. Society tells you to forgive family. Blood is thicker than water, and you only get one family. But what happens when that family becomes the biggest threat to your mental health, your progress, and your peace of mind? As a Sigma male, you understand that toxic behavior doesn't become acceptable just because it comes from relatives. You've probably struggled with this more than most because your natural boundaries clash with family expectations of unconditional access. Today, we're exploring how Sigma males navigate the minefield of toxic family relationships without compromising their principles or their sanity. 1. The Sigma's emotional detachment strategy. The first thing that sets Sigma males apart in family dynamics is their ability to emotionally detach from the chaos. While other family members get sucked into drama, arguments, and emotional manipulation, the Sigma observes from a psychological distance. Ever noticed how you can watch family dysfunction like you're studying a science experiment? That's not coldness. That's strategic emotional protection. You've learned to separate your emotional well-being from other people's choices, even when those people share your DNA. This detachment allows you to see toxic family patterns clearly without getting emotionally hijacked by them. While your siblings might be triggered into reactive responses, you're analyzing the situation from a place of clinical objectivity. You see the manipulation tactics, the emotional blackmail, the guilt trips, not as personal attacks, but as predictable behavioral patterns. When you're not emotionally invested in the outcome of family drama, you can't be controlled through emotional manipulation. The silent treatment doesn't affect someone who prefers silence. Guilt trips don't work on someone who doesn't feel guilty for having boundaries. Most family members don't understand this response. They're used to people either fighting back or completely surrendering. Your calm detachment confuses them because it doesn't fit into their usual manipulation playbook. They can't push your buttons because you've disconnected the wiring. The deeper strategy here is energy conservation. You recognize that family drama is often a bottomless pit of emotional energy. Instead of trying to fix, fight, or flee, you simply withdraw your emotional investment. This isn't giving up, it's strategic disengagement. 2. Redefining loyalty on your own terms. Society has a very specific definition of family loyalty. Show up to everything, forgive everything, sacrifice your own well-being for the sake of family unity. But Sigma males rewrite these rules entirely. Your loyalty isn't automatic. It's earned and maintained through behavior, not birthright. You understand that true loyalty means supporting people's growth, not enabling their dysfunction. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for a toxic family member is refuse to participate in their destructive patterns. This creates massive conflict with traditional family expectations. Your relatives expect unconditional support, unlimited second chances, and your presence at every family gathering, regardless of how toxic the environment becomes. But you've learned that conditional love is actually healthier than unconditional enablement. Here's where it gets complicated. You're not cutting people off out of anger or spite. You're restructuring relationships based on mutual respect and healthy boundaries. You'll help family members who are genuinely trying to grow, but you won't sacrifice yourself on the altar of dysfunctional family dynamics. Your version of loyalty looks different. Instead of showing up to every family event, you show up when your presence adds value, rather than just fulfilling an obligation. Instead of automatically taking sides in family conflicts, you refuse to participate in triangulation and drama. Instead of enabling destructive behavior, you love people enough to let them face the consequences of their choices. This approach often makes you the bad guy in family narratives. You become the one who thinks he's too good for the family or doesn't care about anyone else. But you understand that protecting your peace is more important than managing other people's perceptions of your character. The psychological principle here is self-preservation through boundary enforcement. You've learned that you can love someone and still refuse to be damaged by their dysfunction. 3. The Grey Rock Method with strategic implementation. When complete distance isn't possible, Sigma males master the Grey Rock technique, becoming so uninteresting and unresponsive that toxic family members lose interest in targeting you. But the Sigma's version is more sophisticated than the basic approach. You don't just become boring, you become strategically invisible. Every interaction is carefully calibrated to provide minimal emotional fuel for drama while maintaining just enough connection to avoid escalating conflicts. You perfect the art of being physically present, but psychologically absent. Here's how this looks in practice. Short responses, neutral topics, no personal information shared, no opinions offered on family conflicts, no emotional reactions to provocations. You become a grey, unremarkable fixture that provides no entertainment value for people who feed on chaos. But here's the Sigma twist. You're not just avoiding conflict, you're gathering intelligence. While appearing disengaged, you're actually studying the family dynamics with scientific precision. You learn everyone's triggers, patterns, and manipulation techniques. This information becomes strategic advantage for future interactions. The key is consistency. You can't be grey rock sometimes and emotionally reactive other times. Toxic family members are extremely persistent. They'll keep pushing until they find a crack in your emotional armor. Your consistent unresponsiveness eventually trains them to seek their drama elsewhere. Most family members interpret grey rock as depression, anger, or rejection. They can't understand that you're actually protecting yourself and them from destructive interactions. They take your emotional unavailability personally when it's actually impersonal self-care. The deeper strategy is psychological warfare through non-engagement. You win the game by refusing to play rather than trying to beat them at their own manipulation tactics. 4. Creating physical and financial independence. The most powerful tool in dealing with toxic family members is removing their ability to leverage you. Sigma males prioritize creating multiple forms of independence that make them immune to family manipulation and control. Financial independence is your first line of defense. When you don't need family money, family connections, or family resources, you can't be controlled through economic leverage. Many toxic family dynamics survive because someone always has financial power over other family members. You eliminate this vulnerability entirely. Physical independence follows closely behind. Having your own space, your own transportation, and your own logistics means family members can't trap you in uncomfortable situations. You can leave any family gathering at any moment without needing rides, accommodation, or permission. This mobility is power. But here's the sophisticated part. You don't announce your independence or use it as a weapon. You simply quietly build these capabilities while maintaining normal family relationships. By the time anyone realizes you're completely self-sufficient, it's already a done deal. This independence changes the entire family dynamic. Toxic family members lose their primary control mechanisms. They can't guilt you with, "After all we've done for you," because you don't need what they've done. They can't threaten to withdraw support because you're not dependent on their support. The psychological effect is profound. When you can't be controlled, manipulated, or leveraged, toxic family members often lose interest in targeting you. They move on to easier prey. Family members who still need something from them. Your independence also protects other family members indirectly. When you remove yourself as a target or enabler, it forces the toxic dynamics to reorganize. Sometimes this creates positive change. Sometimes it just redirects the toxicity elsewhere. Either way, you've extracted yourself from the destructive patterns. 5. Information. Warfare and strategic silence. Sigma males understand that information is ammunition in toxic family dynamics. Every personal detail you share can and will be used against you, twisted into gossip, or leveraged for manipulation. Your response is strategic information control. You become a master of selective disclosure. Family members get surface-level information about your life, enough to maintain basic relationships, but nothing that can be weaponized against you. Your career, your relationships, your finances, your plans, your struggles, all become classified information. This isn't paranoia, it's pattern recognition. You've learned that toxic family members cannot be trusted with sensitive information. They'll use your vulnerabilities against you during conflicts, share your private business with other family members, or sabotage your opportunities out of jealousy or spite. The implementation requires discipline. Every conversation becomes carefully moderated. When asked direct questions about your personal life, you master the art of deflection without rudeness. Things are going well. Nothing new to report. Same old, same old. These responses provide zero actionable intelligence. Your silence becomes a weapon. While everyone else is oversharing and creating vulnerabilities, you're gathering information while revealing nothing. You learn about family members' real motivations, their financial situations, their relationship problems, their insecurities. This intelligence advantage helps you predict and avoid manipulation attempts. Family members often interpret this information control as secretiveness or shame. They can't understand that you're actually protecting yourself and them from the destructive potential of shared information. They take your privacy personally when it's actually impersonal security protocol. The deeper principle is defensive positioning. In toxic family systems, information equals vulnerability. By controlling what others know about you, you control what they can use to hurt you. 6. The long-term vision of family reconstruction. Unlike other personality types who either completely cut off toxic family or endure dysfunction indefinitely, Sigma males often pursue a third option: strategic family reconstruction over time. You understand that family toxicity often stems from generational patterns, unhealed trauma, and systemic dysfunction. Rather than taking it personally or trying to fix everyone immediately, you position yourself as the example of a different way of being. You become the proof of concept that healthy relationships are possible. Your approach is patient and strategic. You don't try to change people directly. That's alpha behavior. Instead, you model consistent boundaries, emotional stability, and principled behavior. Over years, your example either inspires change or clearly demonstrates the consequences of choosing dysfunction over growth. This long-term thinking allows you to endure short-term toxicity without losing your sanity. You're not trying to win today's argument or change this year's family dynamic. You're playing a decades-long game where your consistency eventually shifts the entire family system. Some family members will never change, and you accept this reality without bitterness. But others will gradually recognize that your way of operating produces better results. Your peace, your success, your healthy relationships become undeniable evidence that there's a better path forward. The key insight is systemic change through individual transformation. You can't control other people's behavior, but you can control your response to that behavior. Over time, your consistent responses teach the family system what works and what doesn't when dealing with you. Your influence becomes subtle but profound. Family members start unconsciously mimicking your boundary setting, your emotional regulation, your principled decision making. The toxicity doesn't disappear overnight, but it gradually loses power as more people adopt healthier patterns. 7. The ultimate Sigma principle. Love from a distance. The most sophisticated approach Sigma males develop for toxic family relationships is loving from a distance. This isn't cold rejection or bitter resentment. It's mature compassion combined with uncompromising self-protection. You learn to separate loving someone from enabling their dysfunction. You can genuinely care about a family member's well-being while refusing to participate in relationships that damage your mental health. Love doesn't require unlimited access or unconditional tolerance of destructive behavior. This perspective shift is liberating. You stop feeling guilty for protecting yourself from people you love. You stop believing that distance equals abandonment or that boundaries equal selfishness. You understand that sustainable love requires sustainable relationships. Your love becomes more powerful because it's less compromised. When you're not constantly drained and resentful from toxic interactions, you can offer genuine support when family members are ready for healthy relationship. Your emotional reserves aren't depleted by dysfunction. The paradox is that loving from a distance often creates space for genuine healing. When you stop enabling toxic patterns, family members sometimes face the consequences of their behavior in ways that motivate real change. Your withdrawal of unconditional support becomes the catalyst for their growth. This approach requires incredible emotional maturity. You must distinguish between giving up on someone and giving up on dysfunctional relationship patterns. You maintain hope for people while accepting current reality. Family members often can't understand this distinction. They experience your boundaries as rejection when they're actually invitations to healthier connection. They interpret your self-protection as abandonment when it's actually sustainable love. The deeper truth is that authentic love sometimes requires saying no. No to enabling. No to drama. No to sacrificing your peace for their comfort. This isn't selfish. It's sacred. When Sigma males fail to properly handle toxic family relationships, the consequences ripple through every area of life. Your energy gets chronically drained by family drama. Your progress gets sabotaged by people who benefit from keeping you small. Your peace gets shattered by relationships that should provide stability. The most dangerous outcome is when you start compromising your principles to maintain family harmony. You begin tolerating behavior you wouldn't accept from anyone else. You lower your standards and normalize dysfunction. This erosion of boundaries weakens your entire life structure. Your other relationships suffer when family toxicity bleeds into your social and professional life. You carry the stress, the anger, and the emotional exhaustion into interactions with people who deserve better from you. Dealing with toxic family members is perhaps the greatest test of the Sigma male's principles. It's easy to maintain boundaries with strangers, but family relationships challenge everything you believe about loyalty, love, and obligation. The question isn't whether you love your family, it's whether you love them enough to stop enabling their dysfunction and protecting yourself enough to maintain your ability to love them sustainably. Your family doesn't get to destroy your peace just because you share DNA. Your relatives don't get unlimited access to your energy just because they're related to you. Blood doesn't create the right to violate boundaries or poison your well-being. The choice is yours. Enable the dysfunction and suffer the consequences, or love from a distance and maintain your power. If this video helped you understand that family toxicity isn't your fault or your responsibility to fix, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the word distance and tell me which strategy resonated most with your situation. And if this video gave you permission to prioritize your peace over family expectations, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into navigating difficult relationships while maintaining your power. Remember, you can love your family and protect yourself from them at the same time. Until next time, guard your peace.